Good morning and welcome back to the next session here at the Auterion booth at Commercial UAV Expo 2020. My name is Laurent, I'm Head of Product Marketing here at Auterion, and I will talk you through the next 15 minutes in this session about Auterion for mapping. And for those who haven't attended one of our previous sessions, I would like to kick it off with talking briefly about Auterion. And you might have read it last week in the news. Forbes published an article talking about that one company that could change the drone industry. And the story that they were telling is about Auterion, and it is about the ecosystem that we are building to advance the drone industry. And this is really what we care about at Auterion. We're building an ecosystem of interoperable drones, of integrated payloads and apps for you to use at the enterprise. And this ecosystem is powered by a single software platform that we are developing. We're a bit more than 60 people, mainly working in California and in Switzerland. And the technology that our platform is built on is open source technology that is already powering over 1 million of drones worldwide today. And we're also contributing back a lot of our product development back to the open source projects. And we care about standards because we want to establish standards that make it easy to integrate into that ecosystem. So for our partners to make it easier to adopt, but also improve the ecosystem and provide you with the lineup of drones and payloads and apps that you need to get your jobs done. So this is the last session of this morning. We already heard sessions from Lawrence, our CEO and co-founder, about the enterprise drone platform in general. I was talking about the inspection use case earlier this morning, and now this is about mapping. The afternoon session is with Arno, our head of enterprise product, and this is a little more technical, also on the platform, but more aimed at enterprise developers. Don't miss that one. If we look at this platform, so it's really on the one hand to power a diverse fleet and lineup of vehicles, different kinds of vehicles with our software platform for use to choose the best available vehicle for your job. And the same with the payloads. We're collaborating and working with our partners and vendors for payloads to really also bring the right payloads to that ecosystem so that you can choose the vehicle and the payload that you require to get your jobs done. And this is powered by our software platform. It's enabled by our software platform, which also is connected. The connected software really makes your drone behave like an IoT device. So it's really online. You can capture data, you can send it to the cloud, you can integrate it into your apps to integrate it into your workflows. And the platform is open. I mentioned standards before, so to really make it easy to get more vehicles and more payloads to become part of the ecosystem. And this is really also how mapping workflows are enabled and improved with the platform. It's about this, being connected, about connecting the drone, the payload, the cloud, and your own applications to really make it an end-to-end workflow and integrate it into your own workflows. And this is why we also say that it's not the drones that do the mapping, it's really the software that does. The software on the drone, the software that connects the drone to the internet and to the cloud and to your applications. It's really an end-to-end workflow that starts in the air and ends at your desk in your location. It also means that with our common ground station that controls any drone powered by Auterion, that you could even have third-party applications which can take over control for specific parts of the workflow. So if you have a specific mapping app that might offer you the exact user experience that you need for your job to get done, we can hand over control to this app, integrate it into the end-to-end workflow, and really make this happen for you. To illustrate the workflow, I would like to show you a short video. And it really already starts in the office. You can prepare your mission at your desk and then save it and load it in the field so that you can really efficiently kick off the operation already here. Your field engineers will then log into the ground station once in the field, and that will also activate the transmission of the data around the operation to the cloud. The payload in this video is the Alpha 7R, which with the appropriate lens can be used for high resolution mapping pictures, and is really tightly integrated into the software and delivers those pictures from the drone to the cloud to your subject matter expert, that they can then use it for whatever job needs to get done with the mapping here. Once the drone takes off, it's already connected to the internet. As I mentioned, it's like an IoT device. It's really online, and it immediately starts to set up this data pipeline so that data can be transmitted while the drone is in the air. So here in this example, you could, for example, already send over images from the cloud, from the drone to the cloud, and put them, for example, in a Dropbox folder so that your subject matter experts, which is still in the office, can already look at these pictures while the vehicle is in the air. So no reason to wait for the field engineer to come back and deliver data on an SD card. It's really a live transmission of pictures, and before the drone lands, all the data is already transmitted over and in a folder where the experts can look at it. I mentioned the vehicle setup, so you can of course not only use quadcopters, you can also use VTOL drones. So if a VTOL drone is the better choice for your mapping mission, you have the same functionality on this completely different drone here. You have the connectivity, you have the choice of payloads that can take the pictures and send them to the cloud, just like we already showed with the quadcopter. And the connectivity also allows to basically log all the data around the operations. So after the operation has been finished, you have all the data ready in our Auterion suite online so that you can look at all this data. Of course, you can also download pictures immediately from that folder that they were sent to, and then you can use them with whatever other software that you might use to get your job done. So for example, load the pictures into a tool that can help you calculate volumes of objects, or whatever else you need to get done with this mapping data. And this is really the end of the chain here, where you can consume the data that was automatically transmitted over and feed them into your own systems, into your own tools that you need to get your job done. So that's what we mean with integrating the workflow into your enterprise, and with really establishing this end-to-end workflow from the drone to the cloud to your own systems. Let's look at this in a little more detail. It really all starts with Skynode. Skynode is an advanced avionics module that is on the drone. It contains the flight controller to really control the vehicle, connects to the sensors, and also connects the payloads. So the integrated payloads connect to Skynode, and Skynode can control the payloads and download the data. There's also a mission computer on Skynode, so that data captured from the payloads can already be pre-processed before they are sent over the communication link to the cloud or to your end systems. So Skynode really connects the payload to the enterprise. And talking about payloads, the variety of payloads is really diverse, so you can pick and choose whatever you need for your job. For the mapping, this might be the Sony R10C, it also might be the Alpha 7R4 that we saw. If you need thermal imagery, you might choose one of the other ones, really depending on what you do. And with integration, I really mean deep integration. So for example, looking at Sony, we have close collaboration with Sony. Cameras are integrated for you to use full camera control, to access data on the SD card. We also add geotagging to the images after we download them from the camera. So this is happening on Skynode. And we also offer you the ability to use our SDK, that you can use all these controls and with your own code. And Skynode is not just about payloads, it's also about functionality around flight control, for example. And there are some very important features that can really help you to make your operation easier and also safer. And if we think of mapping, especially if we look forward to BVLOS operations, sometimes there might really be unexpected situations. So for example, if you look at this aerial image on top, we can see a straight line which really looks like a street, a road. But it turns out that it's actually a bridge. So if you plan a mission across this bridge that you thought was a street, this might result in a really dangerous situation when the drone gets close to that bridge. And that's where autonomy features can help you to stay safe. Skynode can use computer vision to detect obstacles and to avoid collisions on board. So that's functionality that Skynode, when you connect it to the appropriate sensors, can provide you out of the box to make it safer and to make it easier to use your drones for mapping. But it's really not just about out-of-the-box functionality on Skynode. Skynode is also a platform, an onboard platform that you can use to install third-party apps or to also deploy your own code in a container on Skynode. So you could, for example, deploy your own AI algorithms and really process data on board before you forward it to the cloud or to wherever you need it. So you can really leverage the compute power on the drone itself with Skynode. And we saw it in the video. The connectivity is what gives you data in real time. The example that you saw is sending images over, makes it easy for you to review it at your desk. But it's really not just about data access to connectivity. Of course, this is an important aspect, but I already mentioned that during your operation, when your operators are logged in, you have also all the data around the operation as such, which is uploaded to our cloud suite. And this gives you the complete visibility and the complete overview of your operations, of your whole drone program in the cloud suite. You can see your vehicles, you can see your flights, and also get into all the details around these operations. And this is not only important to get visibility or overview over the program, this is also important for you to stay compliant. With the pilot or operator login and this connection, you basically have real-time information about all your operations in one place. So who flew what vehicle, at which location, on which day, at which time, and you have this aggregated into reports that you can download and export, send it to compliance teams or other stakeholders, really to make your operations stay compliant. All of this is aggregated in the Auterion suite for you to access. So cloud connectivity is really, on the one hand, about delivering data to where you need the data to be, to keep the overview of your operations, and also to stay compliant. And this is what we mean with a complete workflow, and this is also what we mean with connecting it to your own workflow. Starting on the drone with the Auterion software that captures the data and sends it over to the cloud, and from there over APIs or the SDK into the applications that you use, being it Dropbox to share photos, being it Zendesk to create a ticket. Maybe your workflow requires follow-up actions and creation of tickets. That's also something that we can get done with the integration into Zendesk. Or your own applications that use our SDK in the cloud, on the ground station or on the vehicle, to really get control over this workflow. And this is what we mean when we say drones don't do mapping, but software does. It's that software platform that we develop and that helps us to create this flexible ecosystem of interoperable vehicles, integrated payloads and apps for you to get your jobs done. And talking about getting a job done always starts with the vehicle, with the drone itself. And I would like to recap a teaser that you might have seen 2 weeks ago. And this was about FreeFly and the Astro. They were announcing the launch of the Astro, which will happen by the end of this month. And Astro is a drone that is made in the US and that is really created for the enterprise, and Astro has Skynode on board. So it basically enables the whole software platform that we demonstrated, and we're very excited. We cannot wait for this to be released at the end of this month, and we're super proud about this partnership between FreeFly and Auterion, and are very much looking forward to releasing this together with FreeFly. And with that, I would like to end this session and also the Power Hour sessions this morning. We are still going to be online for Q&A. Send us your questions on the chat. Find this presentation and also different content on our website to download. And make sure you join our last session today in the afternoon with Arno, our head of enterprise product. He's going to talk about the platform, but on a more technical level, aimed at enterprise developers, talking about how they can adopt it for their purposes. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and hope to see you next time.